Power Rangers Ninja Storm is the 11th season of the Power Rangers franchise and was released all the way back in 2003. The story follows a secret ninja academy led by a sensei where ninja students learn the elements of air, earth, and water. However, three special ninjas will become the chosen Ninja Storm Power Rangers. However, Sensei Watanabe's evil brother Lothor has returned to destroy and conquer the world. Shane, Tori, and Dustin are chosen as Ninja Storm Power Rangers and have to stop the evil Lothor. There's a storyline of the Power of Thunder Rangers Blake and Hunter who challenge the Ninja Rangers, and then Kem goes back in time to receive the Samurai Amulet to become the Green Samurai Ranger. So, I had seen this series before. It's the third series in the franchise I remember the most, and I loved it as a kid. And upon rewatch, well, maybe not as great as I thought it was as a kid, but it's still pretty solid. The story is pretty good. It does have its good balance of dramatic and comedy moments, but when they play it on comedy, they play the comedy extremely hard, and a lot of it does fall flat. It is very funny, but it does get very, very extreme and very over the top, and it just gets very. It's just kind of dumb, really, at times. There's one episode where there's like this love potion drink, and that makes Blake and Ken fall in love with Tori. And while yeah, it did bring a laugh, I can't deny it is incredibly stupid and very filler. And after the Samurai's Journey episodes, most of the show's future episodes after that don't add much to the main storyline, and they're just filler and just playing it for comedy, and it doesn't really work. I'm not saying the comedy's bad, but it does play very, and I mean very comedically. I do have fun memories, like I remember watching the DVDs, I even remember it watching on Jetix, but that was all the way back in the 2000s decade. And of course, I remember the Dino Thunder team up Thunderstorm, which was awesome. And I actually think that episode is better than all of Ninja Storm. I'm sorry, but I just think that. I think a lot of people agree with me though. But it's just it is a good story. Like it has a good balance. It's kind of like I think it's fair to compare it to Samurai and that new Ninja Steel, even though I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it. And Jungle Fury. I think it's fair to compare to those. I don't think it's as good as Jungle Fury, and I can't really remember a whole lot of Samurai, but it's a decent, enough well-told story. It's fine execution, and it was good fun. It definitely has the wittiness, goofiness of that you'd expect of the Power Rangers franchise. The effects, most of the effects are atrocious. Like, seriously, a lot of the CGI is just terrible. It's horribly dated. Yeah, I know it's 2003, but I mean, it's so just horrible to look at and just dated. And some of the effects are decent enough, but just not great. There's one shot they use of the entire team, and it's a really cool shot. They use it at the end of the opening sequence when Kem joins the team, and I'm disappointed that shot is not in the show because it's just awesome. As in, you can just tell it's Super Sentai footage. And most of the action sequences, they're not really actual ninja fights. It's just mostly Megazord fights. And while it's cool, I get that that's the whole point of a series, but in this franchise, it would be nice if they just did less Megazord fights, because there is a shit ton of those kind of fights in this show. And the acting, for the most part, is pretty good. I like Tori. I like Dustin. They're cool. I like Shane. I do feel Puamagosa is a bit, I don't know how to pronounce his second name. I do feel he is kind of too stoic to be like the Red Ranger. I just feel he's too, I don't know, there's something about his performance that just feels a bit off. It's not to say that it's bad, but like he's very different to say other Red Rangers like Casey and Connor McKnight, and others that I can remember, but he's cool enough. I like Blake and Hunter. I think they're pretty cool. I like their dynamic. I like their Power of Thunder abilities. I do feel their storyline is a bit rushed when they start off as evil. I do feel they could have waited a few episodes to tell that kind of story. And Kem Watanabe, he is really good. I actually quite like Cyber Kem. He's actually pretty funny. I do feel with Kem, he doesn't do a whole lot with the team, other than the Megazord transformations, but there's no real teamwork. Like, there, I didn't, like, yeah, you do see it, but it's very brief. I wish there was like a really cool fight scene with them all together using their powers and weapons. I just think that would have been more epic. His suit is awesome, but I just feel they kind of wasted that potential because when he becomes the Green Ranger, they don't do a whole lot with his character. Like he doesn't really do a whole lot with the team, and that's kind of disappointing. The villains, however, are a complete joke. But before I talk about the villains, I'll talk about Sensei Watanabe and the motorcycle girl, even though I can't really remember her name, I'm sorry. The Sensei is funny, the CGI on the guinea pig is not bad, but the movements are just god awful. And you know, he is a very funny, and I did hear that actor sadly passed away in 2018, so rest in peace. And Pua Maguza, who did Shane, I also heard that he committed suicide last year, and may I say, rest in peace, which is very sad. But yeah. Now onto the motorcycle girl. She's okay. She doesn't really do a lot, but she's fine. The villains, however, are a total joke. There's this villain named Vexidus that joins like through the halfway of the series, and while he has a cool design, he is incredibly bland. He is an absolute nothing of a character. He is just terrible. He's just like what? He's not interesting. I think these are more of the comic release. Mara and Capri. Mara is actually played by Catherine Devine that did Kesty Cornell and Dino Thunder. It's kind of cool. They do a cool joke with that, the Dino Thunder team up. They're. I will admit, at times I do think they're funny, but not like hilarious. They're just chuckle worthy, and at times they're really, and I mean very annoying. As in, they can get on your nerves very quickly. There's the villain Zurgane, who I think should have been the main villain. He's not like amazing, but like he's more intimidating than the main villain, and he does have a cool design, even if he is kind of just bland. The main antagonist Lothar is terrible. He is just laughable. But I did actually find him intimidating in the finale. I do have to give him that. I will admit that. I do give them credit. He was quite threatening in the finale, but that was it. He is so laughable, as in they tried way too hard making him goofy, and it just failed, and it's hilarious how they failed. The acting, like I said, is pretty good. The music, for the most part, it's not great. Some of the music they actually reused in Dino Thunder and SPD, if I'm correct. But yeah, some of the soundtrack is pretty bad. Like it's very dated and doesn't really just. It's just generic, typical music you'd hear in films and TV. But the music's all right. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say. I don't have much to say about Ninja Storm, but on rewatch, it was really solid. I did really like it, but it definitely had flaws. It was very nostalgic though, and definitely brought back lots of childhood memories. I'm gonna give Power Rangers Ninja Storm an 8 out of 10. So yeah, I like it. It is very good, and I do recommend it. Underrated because I see a lot of people hate on it, and I actually didn't even know it was a hated season. I thought like a lot of people liked it. There seems to be divisive. Some people like it and some people hate it. But yeah, I enjoyed it. The next series in this franchise I will review is Jungle Fury, which will hopefully be soon. Until then, though, skadoosh everyone and have a great day.